Discover unique paths to health and healing in the United States. In this article, we are going to look at some unique ways people in America go about trying to get medical relief and holistic cures to what ails us. Some of these modalities you've probably never heard of. Others you might know a little bit about. You will, after reading this article, have sufficient information to investigate them for yourself and see if one or more of them can help you with the particular problem you are experiencing. They are all in use today by many thousands of practitioners and people who get relief to many of their physical complaints where orthodox medicine has left them high and dry. Here are some of the most unique paths to heal and get healthy in America. The man who could cure you while sleeping. Next time you aren't feeling well, don't go to the medicine cabinet or your doctor's office. Instead, get on the web and sign on to the website. There you will find the writings given by a man who spent most of his adult life asleep or in a trance state. The man's name was Edgar Cayce, and he is probably one of the most celebrated and documented healer and psychic in America's history. His history is well documented in many books and videos, and all of his readings have been collected and cross-referenced by topic. They are held in trust at the Edgar Cayce Association for Research and Enlightenment, a place where students can go and research the thousands of cures and other information contained in a vast database of his decades-long work on behalf of mankind. You too can access this wealth of information for a nominal membership fee. http://www.edgarcayce.org/r/holistic-health.asps. This writer had the privilege of going to Damnekva, where the center is located, for some weeks and was amazed at the breadth and depth of Edgar Cayce's works. Did you know that 100% of all his predictions were validated, as well were his various suggestions for cures for various ills? Many companies now sell his remedies and devices he described while in a trance. You can get the information directly in his own words and DIY by perusing the database and finding the information yourself. Some of the cures, remedies and even diets that are mentioned in his readings are: Edgar Cayce cure high cholesterol, Edgar Cayce cure for cancer, Edgar Cayce cure for gout, Edgar Cayce cure for psoriasis, Edgar Cayce cure for baldness, Edgar Cayce cure for hypertension, Edgar Cayce diet, high blood pressure cures, high blood pressure home cures, Edgar Cayce spiritual remedies. You could probably find the cure for the common cold here as well. You will find devices that balance your inner energy are described in such detail such that they can be assembled in the home. You can also order some of the many books that list reading by topic, and of course, one of the most popular is a 300-plus page book of his remedies. Edgar Cayce was the first man to teach holistic medicine in America, and his knowledge is still being used by thousands who seek relief and enlightenment in this over-mechanized, pill-popping and internet-crazed world. So, next time you feel a headache coming on, call the Sleeping Prophet. Richard Bandler, modern-day magician. He is arrogant, condescending and opinionated. However, he is also one of the best people in the world to go to if you have a problem, phobia or fear. Professor Bandler has an almost magical ability to teach and heal the mind of its most serious of problems. The co-founder of NLP, and since then has been in the limelight ever since. He writes, heals and teaches seminars all over the world where you can learn from a true master. His prices are steep, as he believes you only have to see him once to get a cure for your problem instead of years through traditional methods of therapy or self-help, so he charges accordingly. Lately he has been trying to get as much information out in the body public as possible. His bestsellers Get the Life You Want and Richard Bandler's Guide to Transformation, How to Harness the Power of Hypnosis to Ignite Effortless and Lasting Change. This writer is on the second copy of the first and a third copy of the second, as they have been extremely useful for life and work and have been worn out with use. Professor Bandler also has released many DVDs and audio CDs. His class of the Master is one of the best on the market if you want to see real change occur with people with chronic problems almost immediately. The Neurosonic series was used in a hospital that housed catatonic patients. One enterprising nurse played them and they reacted to the CDs. Listening to his CDs and watching his videos will affect the viewer or listener in profound ways. If you want real change in your life, give Professor Bandler a chance to repattern your life. Magic Eye does more than show a pretty picture. You've seen them in department stores and in bookstores. Books filled with seemingly random patterns of color and image that challenge you to try and see the hidden image. What you may not know is that they are also a way to calm the mind, aid in meditation and may actually hold the key to curing some of your ills. Studies have shown that looking at magic eye images causes a shift in frequency in the human brain analogous to that experienced by those who meditate. This fact alone makes them a valuable addition to your holistic medicine toolbox. They also open up doorways to the subconscious mind and are used in preparation for using the famous photo reading program, developed by Paul of Learning Strategies Inc. Putting your mind in altered states can help your body relax and begin a healing process that can have long-reaching effect that can reverse the damage caused by stress and pressure in today's pressure cooker work environment. So next time you want to relax, don't read a book. Look at a pretty picture first to help you get into the right mindset, then photo read the book. An unique way to stave off brain aging. What do speed reading, free writing and Pelmanism have in common? They can help prevent Alzheimer's and keep your brain active and young. Studies have shown the more active a brain is, the more neurons are created and the more connections are made. What many educators are doing now is teaching the elderly how to speed read to help them read more and keep their minds active. Next, they teach them the memory secrets of Pelmanism that were used in the early 20th century to boost student test scores and IQs. The current reigning expert on these topics is of course Tony Buzan, though he doesn't use the word Pelmanism in connection with his work. His work is based in it nonetheless. If you look at any of his memory books, they are based on the virtually identical concepts that were espoused in the early works on Pelmanism from 1900s. http://www.eneva.com/histories/history386p.php #sign14. Next, using the free writing techniques described in Peter Elbow's excellent book Writing with Power. Now you have a compelled program to help keep our brain alive and healthy and functioning at peak efficiency. If you are into books, then getting a piece of software can take your reading to the next level. http://www.acreader.com/. If later you want to truly blast through your reading, you can try the famous photo reading program for yourself. http://www.learningstrategies.com/photoreading/home.asp. So, if you want to keep your brain young, start out and learn to read a bit faster, then learn to remember what you read and finally write about what you read. This combination can defeat the effects of age and perhaps keep your mind alert and active until you are a 100. Healing with a touch. Methods for healing abound in America today. You learn how to manifest health using the secret of your use of tapping techniques. How about a way that goes back a few thousand years and has a track record that spans centuries of use? Well, that's what we are going to look at next with Jinshin Jutsu from Japan and now being taught here in America. This technique is based on 26 energy gates located in different parts of the body. The secret is in both the practitioner, who acts as a set of jumper cables, who then redirects the internal energy from areas of surplus to areas of deficiency. Alice Baumeister is the American representative of the current master of the art, and in her book, she lays out the complete treatment modality with diagrams to help you find the energy gates. In addition, There is a part for the practitioner to use mudras to increase their own internal energy as well. So, this is a win-win system where both the practitioner and the client both are better off after the treatment session ends. You can do much better than that. Touch for Healing Take 2. Energy systems abound these days, and here is another, which this writer believes, was derived from the previous one. This one is called Jin Shin Do, which is a similar name to the previous one, but the method of treatment delivery is different. This program seems to be under the auspices of American macrobiotics entrepreneur out of the Boston area. This method utilizes the practitioner SK to press on select areas of the body the same way an acupuncturist does, and in fact, the book's primary title is The Acupressure Way of Health, Jin Shin Do. The book will teach you proper breathing and how to use the energy from your center or hara to press in sequence those areas needed to release blockages. The last part of the book is full of treatment protocols and is rich in easy-to-read diagrams that list the meridian system called the strange flows that also are broken down by types of application, whether for a specific issue or a general tune-up of the entire energy system. I am not going to debate which came first or chickens and eggs. Both techniques are useful and it is up to you to decide which suits you best. Masayoshi Kasano, however, frowned on the entire Boston energy work and macrobiotics movement in the area. He should know, as he trained directly with George Sauer in India and got his training the hard way. The politics notwithstanding, this is a valuable addition to your holistic library, and this writer's copy is a first edition from the 1970s, which shows how long it has been used by writer. Touch for Healing Take 3. This third system is also from Japan and comes from the pen of Aikido Grandmaster Koichi Tahei, who called it Kietsu. In it he details breathing and where to press, then how to use ki to press on select areas of the body. This method is different from Chinese and other Japanese systems, as it ignores the concept of meridian system entirely and uses lines that run down the back and front in parallel lines. It also uses the concept of scanning, where the practitioner uses their hands like sensitive detectors to locate areas of blockage and alleviate problems. Many of the Aikido schools in the US teach this as part of the martial art, as it is one of the reasons why there are so few injuries in the art of Aikido. To find this book today is a bit expensive. The last copy that this writer was able to obtain cost around $150, and it is a steal at the price. It is one of the few books out there that does work and teaches you in a clear and down-to-earth manner and doesn't try to confuse you with mystical jargon. One thing that was left out was the concept of the four sides of a muscle and the switches that turn them on and off. This writer has been using Kietsu for over 30 years with great success in helping people with their pain. Dowsing for health. Many people have heard of dowsing as used to locate water, valuables, and in some instances lost children. It, however, has some other uses as well. It can be used as a diagnostic tool to answer questions about the general health of yourself or another individual. We are not going to use the traditional rods that you've seen in books or TV. Instead, we will use a simple pendulum, which you can purchase or make yourself. A pendulum, you might recall, can answer yes/no questions. Some people say this is witchcraft. This writer tends to agree with the amazing skin and say it is just a function of the human brain we don't ordinarily use, and leave it at that. NLP experts believe it is an ideomotor response that controls the pendulum. Though how the subconscious mind knows how to move it when, is still a mystery. Pendulums can tell you if there is an energy blockage or other problem, and in some cases will tell you it doesn't know the answer. It has been used to discover what foods you may be allergic to, which when used in conjunction with kinesiology can be a reliable indicator. All in all, it is a useful all-around device to have in your holistic toolkit. Radionics and Orgone. While illegal to sell and use professionally in the United States, England has had a long history with using radionic devices in the detection and treatment of disease. Devices like the Delawa camera and the Ruth Brown radiovision. Both these devices landed their inventor in hot water with the established medical profession. In Ruth's case, it cost her life in prison. Who, like Wilhelm Reich, who discovered orgone energy and also died while in custody. All of these devices tap into energies we are just now becoming aware existing. In the case Delawa camera, claims of remote healing were documented. In all three of these people's lives, the devices did do something that could not be explained. Instead of investigating and discovering the usefulness of these devices, personal attacks and finally jail for trying to help those in need. Who were too poor to afford the price of medical care or were told there was nothing science could do for them. This makes me think of America now. After all the hoopla over Obamacare, are we seeing an opportunity to reopen the book on these forgotten devices that could hold the key to better health for us all? Radionics Take 2. However, if you stay away from the medical field, you can actually get a patent in the US for a radionics device. Which is what T. Galen Hieronymus did in the early 60s. He patented it as a mineral and metal detector. Only after it was patented did its other uses became apparent. John W. Campbell Jr., editor of Astounding Science Fiction, championed the cause of the Hieronymus device, not so much because he believed in it himself, but because of the refusal of organized science to look at anything outside the accepted norm, which by Campbell's definition included a radically new discovery. Like perhaps atomic energy? In any case, the machine was dissected and discovered it could operate the same way as the Delawa camera and effect change at a distance. This possibly could be used in medicine, which after the prison deaths of some of the biggest researchers in the field, no one wanted to tempt fate. Even today the controversy rages on, and Frank Bearden gave a seminar titled Force at a Distance to top military officials, which warned of Soviet advances in radionics and the fact they were actively engaged in using radionics devices for espionage. The book Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain also brought this to light. Electronic healing. Here is another area that could be considered a fringe area as well. Like the radionics devices, sorting wheat from the chaff can be tedious at best. Bob Beck was an ardent supporter of using electronic devices to aid in the curing of diseases. He located the documentation in medical studies and began asking questions. When he didn't get answers, he designed and built his own. This was when he discovered the loophole in the system. You can build the devices and use them if you use them experimentally on yourself. This is what he needed. He spent the remainder of his life before his untimely death, spreading free copies of plans and giving seminars on the various types of electronic healing devices were out there. The Beck Protocol, which used the combination of machines to maintain and enhance the health and well-being of a person. http://www.bobbeck.com/ http://www.sharinghealth.com/bob-beck-protocol.html http://cancertutor.com/bobbeck-bp/. Hulda Clark also got into the act with her book about the cure for all disease. http://www.scribd.com/doc/3280515/the-cure-for-all-diseases. In this massive work, she covers everything and more. She also outlines here electronic devices that enhance health. One thing Mr. Beck did was he brought the world's attention to electronic curing of addiction and uses the case of Peter Townsend's near death with heroin addiction and how in only 2 weeks his whole life was turned around and he walked out of the hospital under his own power. Considering he was considerate death's door and was on life support when he was brought in. It seems a discovery in Hong Kong was the first inkling that there was a way out for addicts and a way for them to get on the road to recovery. Electrical pulses at frequencies of around 11 cycles to an acupuncture point had a wondrous effect. After a short treatment for pain also resulted in the cure for a patient's heroin addiction. Working with the California hospital that used the device on Mr. Townsend, Bob was able to create a portable device called the Brain Tuner. This was marketed as a meditation aid. http://www.sharinghealth.com/bob-beck-brain-tuner.html. You can see this opens up interesting possibilities for you to experiment with and discover if these devices work or not, and how much money could they possibly save you at the doctor's office. There is of course the other side as well, those who would cheat you as well. Look, test and verify for yourself. Electronic hearing for the deaf. A few years back there was a device on the market called the Bone Phone, and it let you hear through bone conduction. But on the quitter note was another device called the Neurophone that after it was first invented was deemed of national security, because in effect it was electronic telepathy. At certain frequencies the human skin acts like an ear and transmits information as clear as a stereo sound system. Now in its third generation the Neurophone has gone wireless. That means it's now electronic telepathy because what you hear is directly in your mind. If you are hard of hearing, this may be the game changer for you. You can now listen to music and it is as if it is playing in your head. Which also means you won't miss any of the music or content due to external noise. This is truly something out of a science fiction flick. One of the side effects after listening through it for a while, the two halves of your brain synchronize much better. Similar to the Mozart effect, this makes students smarter. So you get a 2-for-1, you get to listen to your tunes and you become smarter while you do it. How is that for a win-win solution? Your PC can do what? What if your PC, laptop, or tablet could become a healing device? Well, that's the questions that were asked by a few enterprising creative minds. The first was called the God Box, and it used a simulator that took an electronic image called a holoform of materials that had holistic healing properties and then sending those vibrations, for lack of a better term, out of the computer. There are still many copies of this software out there, and slowly but surely, they are being removed from the web one by one, so the chances you finding this interesting package is growing slimmer every day. http://ravenwoods.tripod.com/index-44.html. The second software, Cybershimon, was invented by one of the God Box testers who thought they had a better idea. Instead of scanning objects that had healing properties, why not use images of symbols, archetypes and other images that prompted healing in the mind? That is only a supposition of this writer's part, as it has been many years since contact with either of these two inventors and the writer has taken place. Both of these packages got rave reviews from the testing groups and users. But like many good things, the inventors went on to do other things. Cybershimon is in its 8th revision and seems to be still available for you to try and test for yourself. http://gox1.com/. The current version is very well crafted and the site offers a free version for you to try. The price tag for the pro version is a bit steep for this writer's budget, so testing of this new version will have to wait until a future date. Whatever happened to pyramid energy? Shape generates energy. Nikola Tesla stated that at the beginning of the 1900s. After over 100 years, no one has been able to duplicate the genius that gave us the electric age we live in. Pyramids were discovered to do some amazing things and by utilize some of the same ideas that gave Tesla his planar antenna. Inventor Patrick Flanagan created a flat pyramid. That was back in the 70s. Since then there really hasn't been a lot of new stuff. The only exciting events were the rumors of excavations near the Sphinx that might uncover the hidden library of the ancients that Edgar